From eating her cat's hair, chewing the walls of her own home, and tasting the ashes of a loved one, these are the most disgusting and dangerous eating addictions ever on My Strange Addiction, and the addictions only get more insane as the video goes on, starting with Kina, who eats up to 4 rolls of toilet paper every single day, claiming that it's healthy and tastes good. Kina lives in New York and describes the taste of toilet paper like cotton candy, with her being totally addicted to eating it every single day. In fact, when she wakes up, it's the first thing that she thinks about as she sips her coffee and eats toilet paper.
I eat toilet paper from the second I get up in the morning. Sometimes before I even brush my teeth.
If you are worried about any potential weight gain due to this, Kina puts your mind at ease as she reveals the amount of calories in toilet paper and shows you can eat as much as you want.
And guess what? Toilet paper has 0 calories and it won't even give you a hangover.
Although she isn't worried about the calories, she should be worried about the other very serious health issues which could arise due to eating toilet paper, such as dehydration or, more seriously, intestinal blockage. This hasn't stopped her though, as she eats up to 4 toilet paper rolls every single day, which is around $2,700 every year just spent on toilet paper. This is even more shocking when you hear the average American only spends $182 every year. She eats toilet paper everywhere she goes to, even at the nail salon, where the workers are just as shocked as you probably are too.
I'm laughing because to me it's just so weird, why is he eating the toilet paper?
And they were as shocked as you are going to be with the next addiction to appear on the show, which is someone who's addicted to eating cat hair. If you're a pet owner, you're likely filled with love for your cat or dog, but would you take it as far as to actually groom them with your own tongue? Lisa, who is a self-confessed crazy cat lady, was covered in the 4th season of My Strange Addiction in 2013. She admitted that she loves her cats so much that she actually grooms them with her tongue, and describes it very casually as comparing herself to the cat's actual mother.
I groom my cat with my tongue like a mama cat would do to her kitten.
Are you my good girl?
Believe it or not, it goes even further than just grooming her cat, and Lisa is shown to actually eat big clumps of her cat's hair, which I'm pretty sure other cats don't do. Lisa compares the cat's hair to that of cotton candy, saying it's a unique texture and the taste is unlike anything else. Lisa's been eating her cat's hair for the past 15 years, as she wanted to find a way to tighten the bond between her cats, as apparently stroking them like a normal person wasn't good enough. I think this seems to go further than just bonding with her cats though, as even when she's out driving or out on a walk, she needs to carry around clumps of cat hair just in case she needs to eat some.
15 years ago, Lisa began eating cat hair as a way to feel closer to her pets. But it wasn't until she got a new kitten that our unusual bonding ritual turned into a full-blown addiction. Now, 3 years later, Lisa's so hooked on consuming cat hair that she can't go 2 hours without a fix.
I think one of the worst parts about this addiction is that outside of grooming the hair straight off the cat, which is bad enough, she actually collects old cat hair that she finds around her apartment. And it really makes you wonder what else is included in this fur that she's finding.
I find the cat hair that I eat all over the apartment, on the floor or on the back of the couch or on the perch, but the best ones are right off the cat.
She claims the cat enjoys being groomed and tells the camera that the cat will sprawl out for her and allow Lisa to groom her and eat the cat hair as she pleases. However, literally the next scene disproves this, as the cat tries to bite Lisa as she goes in for the next hit of cat hair.
And we both seem to enjoy it.
Despite how disgusting this is, it really begs the question what actually could happen to Lisa if she eats cat hair, and more importantly, what's happening in her stomach. After an intervention by her sister, who pleaded with Lisa to stop this disgusting addiction, she told her sister there would be no health risks from this, and even went to the doctor to prove it. Lisa, however, couldn't be more wrong, as although the doctor said right now there's no issue, she showed what the potential impacts could be, and if you're eating, it's probably best that you look away now.
Let me show you a picture of what someone's stomach looks like when they have ingested a large amount of hair. They have all this hair that they have eaten over the course of years.
That is so gross that I seriously want to just throw up right now.
Although Lisa didn't have any negative effects yet, the same can't be said about 26-year-old Nicole, who's addicted to eating drywall, and although she experienced stomach pain, she had no idea it was from eating the walls of her home. Nicole is a single parent living in Detroit and quite literally eating her way into homelessness as she destroys the whole walls of her home due to her addiction to eating the walls. A quick Google search of what goes into drywall would tell you that this is a bad idea, as it includes an ingredient list of fiberglass, gypsum, clay, acid, and a list of other chemicals which are obviously not safe for consumption. This hasn't stopped Nicole though, who's been eating parts of her home every day for the past 7 years, going through almost 100 square meters of it, and is not stopping anytime soon.
Now Nicole ingests drywall up to 6 times a day.
I love the smell of drywall, the texture of it, the taste. I love everything about drywall.
The most ridiculous part about this addiction is that obviously she can't get all of the drywall from her own house, and considering how much she eats, it would probably collapse the whole house. So, in her desperation, she started eating the drywall at her grandmother's and her friend's house. She shows what she needs to access the drywall to, and even gives us a tutorial on how to eat the drywall, just in case any viewers want to give it a go.
I've been picking at it for like 2 months. I take a piece like this and I take it and I break it. Then I'll take a bite out, I eat it.
Obviously, this addiction comes from some sort of mental health issue Nicole is suffering through, and it seems like this stems from the grief of the loss of her mother, and her uncle shares how she didn't take it well at all.
Nicole's addiction spiraled out of control when her mother died 5 years ago.
The loss of my sister, it's been very, very hard on Nikki, but she's trying to stand strong, but it does really bite her.
However, given her mother died 5 years ago and she's been eating the walls for 7 years, it seems like there's something else going on, but that wasn't disclosed in the show. She also claims that no one in her family knows about her addiction, but I've got to question this too, as she says she eats her grandmother's and her friend's walls, so surely one of them must have noticed that there was big holes in the walls, or maybe they were just too embarrassed to bring it up. Despite this secrecy, as a part of the show, Nicole shares with her uncle, who seems to be a father figure after losing her mother, that she eats her walls, and her uncle's reaction is probably quite similar to yours too.
I have been eating drywall.
Eating drywall? Are you serious?
Yes.
This is not some kind of joke.
No joke.
That's an unnatural agent, not meant to go in our physical body.
Her uncle Gordon, despite his shock, keeps a very level head about the situation and seems like a genuinely supportive uncle as he pleads with Nicole to take some steps to change her life.
We've got to get you to see a doctor, and I'm with you as always on everything. We know we're gonna get past it.
And eventually, she listens. When researching the side effects of eating drywall, which the doctor will tell us in a second, I was genuinely shocked to see just how many people share Nicole's addiction. One Reddit poster shared their anguish that they couldn't stop eating the wall and they knew it was doing damage, but because of their condition, they could not stop. The condition a lot of the participants will have on the show is called pica, which makes sufferers crave non-edible substances, and Nicole's doctor was about to break down why this is so dangerous and why she needed to stop immediately. When the doctor asked if she had any stomach pain, she gave a hilarious answer.
Have you had any problems with belly pain or nausea, vomiting, constipation?
I've had like stomach pain, but I've always thought that it was because of spicy foods.
It turns out though, this wasn't a laughing matter, and the doctor gave a stark warning to Nicole and a clear message, which made Nicole look very uncomfortable.
Are you aware of what makes up drywall at all by any chance?
No, I don't know what's in drywall.
There can be glass.
Glass?
Yeah, glass. And there can be other toxic compounds that are poisonous to humans and even cause cancer later on.
Although thankfully Nicole has escaped serious issues, Jennifer, who appeared on the show, shared her love for eating mattresses and left the doctor's office with a much more concerning diagnosis. Jennifer still lives at home with her mother and her brother Darius, and unlike the previous participants on the show, Jennifer has made no secret of the fact that she eats mattresses, with Darius sharing a pretty disgusting way that he's found out about his sister's eating addiction.
I'm very concerned about her health and her digestive system, because I have seen it in the toilet. It comes out in whole pieces.
Even if she wanted to keep it a secret, it would be pretty difficult now, considering she has ate the entirety of her own mattress and now sneaks into her mother's bedroom in order to start eating hers too. Jennifer believes that the only side effect of eating mattresses is that you'll have bad gas, and as she puts it, it enters and leaves her body fine. She's shown throughout the show constantly bourbon, which I don't really want to play here as it is quite disgusting. But this being the only side effect couldn't be further from the truth, and it feels as though Jennifer is in denial about this. But she may be right, as she's been doing this for years. Jennifer's addiction started at the age of just 5 years old, when she started eating the foam out of the seat of the family car, showing just how deep this addiction goes.
I was sitting in the back seat and it was like sponge down there. And I just picked it and took it and was like, just chewed on it.
After this discovery that she clearly enjoyed eating foam, she went through couches, chairs, and more furniture until 10 years ago when she ate her first mattress and was hooked since. Since her addiction started, she has consumed 8 entire mattresses. Clearly, there's some hidden issues going to be caused by eating this much foam, and even though Jennifer isn't too concerned with this, her family are. Darius and Lynn, her mother, staged an intervention for Jennifer, as they clearly have more concern for her well-being than she does, but this quickly turns into a heated argument about the dangers of eating a literal mattress.
We don't know what this mattress is doing to her. Me and my son just need to confront her today. It needs to stop.
So when you eat it, are you afraid of choking?
No.
Is that why you be like all the time?
Yeah, when I be like, it shoot out of my throat like a cannon. I mean, I've been eating for 20 years, ain't nothing happened.
Wow. And you don't think this hurting you? You don't worry about the chemicals that's in the mattress?
No, I don't.
I'm just concerned, and I don't want anything to happen to you.
Even though Jennifer was clearly upset as she stormed out past the camera crew, the meeting with her family clearly made her nervous, as she did in fact book a hospital appointment and a checkup with her doctor, and she'll be very pleased that she did, as he returned with worrying results. The doctor asked for her symptoms, and the main one Jennifer mentioned to the doctor was the burps, and she could not have described them in a more disgusting way.
Really only symptoms that I think is connected to it, I may be a little gassy, but then again, like, I'm having sulfur burps.
Sulfur burps? Okay.
Yeah, like a fart in my mouth.
Okay.
Even though this was the main side effect that she noticed, the doctor explained to Jennifer that the mattress foam is not digestible, and even though she's only really suffering from these burps, there's a much bigger concern that she should be aware of. The doctor said that this foam could be building up inside her stomach and her intestines, which if left to build up will cause a blockage and eventually a rupture. In an attempt to stop this happening, the doctor did an x-ray and had some worrying news.
You know, the problem you face is you're going to have a hole in your intestine or a complete bowel obstruction, and it's going to be an emergency. And emergency means you could die.
Wow.
This health scare seems to have worked on Jennifer, as the show reveals that since they ended filming, Jennifer has eaten Mattress less than 5 times. But this can't be said about Bianca, who went through multiple strange addictions before finally landing on something that most of you won't believe. 34-year-old Bianca lives in Las Vegas, Nevada, and has appeared multiple times on the show. In the original series, she talked about her first addictions, which was cigarette ash and pottery. When she was 24 years old, she explained how she spent 2 to 3 hours every day eating pottery. The most surprising thing about this to me is that her teeth look totally fine, despite chewing so much every single day. Even before she was eating pottery though, her mother thought something was strange about her eating habits, as she caught her multiple times eating things that obviously shouldn't have been eaten.
When Bianca was a little girl, she would go into my flower bed and just have the best time eating dirt. So I knew from early on that she had a taste to the earth.
You could write this off as she was just very young, but it seems to have only spiraled out of control for Bianca, who's went from eating dirt, pottery, and eventually eating cigarette ash. The strangest part about this is that Bianca herself doesn't smoke, so she needs to wait until her sister has a cigarette and then licks the ash out of the ashtray, and her sister has made her thoughts on it very clear.
I don't know how she can actually crave ashes. It's disgusting.
Now, this was 10 years ago, and the team from My Strange Addiction caught up with Bianca again to see what she was up to now. You may be surprised to know that she's completely stopped eating pottery and cigarette ash. However, it has been replaced by something else.
But I traded one habit in for another. I'm now addicted to eating chalk.
Yes, Bianca now eats chalk, which at least seems to be easier on your teeth than pottery. You may be surprised to know that eating chalk is actually a popular thing, and this Russian YouTuber has built an entire channel about her eating chalk, gaining 93,000 subscribers from eating it. This is about 10,000 more than me, but if you subscribe now, maybe we can catch up, and I won't have to start eating chalk for a living. Eating this chalk is probably the least harmful substance on this list, given that it's non-toxic. But in the amounts that Bianca eats it, I can't imagine it would be long until she runs into issues. The next participant of the show, though, would be addicted to one of the most dangerous substances on this list. Kimberly appeared on the show 13 years ago and developed a life-threatening addiction to laxatives. It's truly heartbreaking to hear her talk about it, as she's clearly suffering from severe body image issues.
My mom and pretty much everyone in the family tells me, you need to eat. I tell them that I'm trying to do something about it because I don't want them to know what's going on.
Even more heartbreaking is that she clearly has a loving family, with her mother sharing her anguish that Kimberly is pushing her away. And even though she isn't aware of the laxatives Kimberly takes, she tells the cameras that she loves her and she just wants her to be happy and healthy. This clearly isn't the case though, as Kimberly shares that all she wants to do all day is stay home, take laxatives, and be near the bathroom.
Well, when I first started taking the laxatives, it would make me extremely sick and I would have to spend more time in the bathroom. At this point, I have to take them to be regular.
The story gets even more insane when you find out just how many laxatives she's eating every single day and how much it all costs. She isn't just taking 1 or 2 or even 10. As soon as she wakes up, she takes 20 to 40 laxatives every single morning. But it gets even worse, as after she has her lunch, she takes another 25, which is around 6 boxes in total a day. In more evidence that she's suffering from body image issues, she also wears 5 waist trainers 23 hours every day in order to try and lose more weight.
In addition to my addiction to laxatives, I also constantly wear waist trimmers. They're supposed to make your stomach sweat to lose inches. I normally wear at least 5 up to 10.
Some of the side effects from having too many laxatives could genuinely be devastating, as they range from dehydration and electrolyte imbalances to prolapses, kidney failure, and UTIs. This story really was one of the hardest to listen to, but you'd be relieved to know that it does have a happy ending. In the comments section for the original video, Kimberly herself gave an update for fans of the show, and it's genuinely heartwarming to read. Just so everyone knows, I am her. I have quit taking laxatives. I still struggle with body dysmorphic disorder, but I try to surround myself with positive, encouraging people. Thank you for all of the people that are supportive, and don't automatically jump to the conclusion that I am crazy. If you thought Kimberly's story was heartbreaking, 26-year-old Casey has an even more heartbreaking story, which has led to a really disturbing addiction. Casey, who lives in Tennessee, is the final participant in part 1 of our strangest addiction list, and I can guarantee you will not be expecting this. She used to live with her husband, who she got married to in 2009, and according to her and her family, it really was the perfect marriage. It was pretty much love at first sight, as they only knew each other 10 months and got married in that time. However, just 2 months prior to filming the show, tragedy would strike, and Casey's perfect marriage would fall apart overnight.
Their marriage was picture perfect, until Sean suffered a severe asthma attack 2 months ago.
The doctor came in, and the look on his face was telltale. It was the day my world stopped turning, the day my life fell apart.
One half of Casey's addiction is that she's addicted to carrying her husband's ashes around everywhere she goes, and essentially acts like he's still with her. She orders him food, buys him the groceries he likes, and takes him to the movies, essentially doing anything that she's doing.
I don't eat it, but I cook for him. If I'm watching TV, he's there with me. You wanna watch this? If somebody says, hey, who is that? I'm like, that's just my husband. Some people laugh, they think I'm playing, but it's serious, it's my husband.
Obviously, she's going through an extremely tough time and suffering with deep feelings of grief, but this next part seems to surpass that and maybe crosses the line to where she needs professional help.
I guess with the transfer of his cremains, you know, some got into the cardboard box as well, and they spilled out on my hands. And I didn't want to wipe them off because that's my husband. I don't want to wipe him away. So I just licked it off my fingers, and I can't stop.
Yes, you heard that right. Casey started to eat the ashes of her deceased husband. She claims it tasted like rotten eggs and sand, but she's done it 5 or 6 times a day now, so she has grown to love the taste. She's claimed that due to her addiction, she has lost 40 pounds in the 2 months she's been eating the ashes, just because she's not eating regular meals. Obviously, this is her way of dealing with the loss of her beloved husband, and everyone deals with things in their own way. But this is not only very strange, it's potentially dangerous. Bodies are embalmed with multiple different chemicals, and if these chemicals are ingested, it could cause psychosis. This could mean that as she eats more and more of her husband, she deepens her addiction and loses grip on the reality of her situation. The most obvious thing about this is that if she carries on, there isn't going to be any ashes of her husband left to remember him by, and Casey recognizes this, saying that she feels like she's losing him all over again.
So, like, when you're eating the ashes, like, what's going through your mind at that moment?
I'm slowly losing my husband again. And I'm so scared that I'm pretty close to the edge right now. And if I eat him, like all of him, it may push me over.
Right.
This was part 1 of the strangest eating addictions in My Strange Addiction, and if you want to continue watching people who live extraordinary lives and the stories they create behind them, make sure you click the video that's on your screen now to see the most loved versus most hated My 600 Pound Lifestars, and I'll see you in the next one.
And so highly recommend you go and follow Big Craig, 31,000 followers.